time. That really happened? This is great.
What happened?
Cowboys trading Micah Parsons to the Packers.
Are you serious?
No.
That's what they just said, unless I'm being trolled. Could
The
be
Cowboys are trading All-Pro Micah Parsons to the Packers. This guy's so upset.
Oh, no.
And they agreed to a 4-year, $188 million deal, $136 million guaranteed.
Unbelievable.
$47 million per year.
Woo!
Good for him.
This is
Good
my
for
night-
Micah. I am happy for him. Wow.
This is my nightmare.
I love this. Because here, look, Buffalo obviously would have been a great spot for him. As a guy that likes the Ravens, I'm glad he's not in Buffalo. I'm glad he's in the NFC. I think the Packers, wow, this is great for them.
All right, can I ask a question real quick?
Love it.
Are we able to revise our NFC North prediction?
Yeah, I mean, really.
Like,
This week, there's a huge
I did
wrench
have
in
a-
predictions.
this does put a huge wrench in predictions week.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brew. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I had him winning the division. Mm-hmm. This could end up revising my Super Bowl pick. We'll see. But, I love this for the Packers. I mean, the question marks outside of if anybody's questioning Jordan Love's was the defense. I mean, come on, you got one of arguably the best defenders.
They
in the
really,
league.
Jerry,
and they already
really
had a good defensive team.
blew this thing up.
It's
now,
insane. It's insane.
listen. Look at Greg. Greg,
We know what he
Greg, come on. Unbelievable.
It's infuriating, Greg.
Unbelievable.
So this is. We got to see what they traded away. But you
I
assume
tell you,
it's-
they traded a lot of draft picks.
Yeah, but hold on. Can I?
This is a,
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think this is a bigger story for the Packers? Do you think this is a Packer story?
Cowboys.
Or do you think it's a Cowboys
I
story?
think
it's
right now?
both.
Go ahead.
This is the Khalil Mack trade, which is one of the craziest trades in NFL history. Khalil Mack was the multiple-time All-Pro, second contract. The team that drafted him didn't do it. The most ever given up to get him, and then the biggest contract ever for a defensive player. That's what the Bears.
It didn't work out that well.
That's what I'm hoping for as a Bears fan here.
But do you think that's going to happen?
The Packers are much better than the Bears were when they acquired Khalil Mack. So this is what the Packers are betting on. This is the missing piece. We've got the quarterback under contract. We've got the coach. We hired the new defensive coordinator last year that got all of the turnovers and the takeaways. We've got the young offense, the really young wide receiver core. They've missed on a few first-round picks on defense. And now they have arguably the best, well, not argue, he is the best young defensive player in football because he is 3 and 4 years younger than TJ Watt and Myles Garrett. So for the Packers, this is, we're going to try to win the Super Bowl right now.
Yeah.
And for the Cowboys, the story is, we blew it.
Well, so hold on. But
you
you're
blew it.
saying
They
real
blew
quick,
it.
You blew it.
But hold on. You're saying because you brought up an interesting question earlier, which was is doing this actually good? And it's something like the trading, giving up. It's something you've talked about a lot in the past. The Barnwell thing of it's the most expensive way to get a player. So if you think trading multiple picks just to pay the most money anybody's ever paid for a player ever is bad, then if you're a Bear, like if you don't like the Packers, you should be happy.
Well, so here's the thing. It didn't work out for the Bears, and I comp it to Khalil Mack because of the age and the position. Khalil
And
Mack,
like you said, the team wasn't nearly as good.
and the team wasn't nearly as good. What the Packers are hoping for is that it's when the Rams traded for Jalen Ramsey. This has happened 3 times this century. Like the modern NFL, multiple first-round picks for a defensive player, and we have it. It's Jamal Adams.
That was a disaster.
Well, it's quietly one of the worst trades
ever.
ever.
This is not a bad trade.
That was the position, too.
This is
Adams
an
being a
awesome
safety.
day in Green Bay.
Absolutely.
It's
Does
just-
anybody disagree with that?
Well, here's my question is, we're glossing over the number is staggering, bro. That's 47. Brew was saying 90 minutes ago, and I agreed with you,
right,
that 41 would be a great job. You know what I mean? And so that part is staggering. It definitely makes sense if the Packers win the Super Bowl. It also, but it also, I'm
So
digesting
you
this in
really
real
are
time.
questioning this for the
Well,
Packers?
again, Howie Long came on yesterday and said this could be their Herschel Walker trade. We weren't doing shows when I'm sure when the Cowboys traded away Herschel Walker, people thought that they lost, they won. Like there is an element of I can't say if it's a great trade until I find out what they gave up.
But think
Well,
about it,
do
the
we
Vikings.
have the comp?
I mean,
Do we have
the
the
Packers have their quarterback who's young.
And
right?
under contract.
Under contract. They've got a young receiving core. You just drafted a guy you think is going to be your number one receiver.
It's one of the
They
youngest offenses in
already
football.
were the youngest team to have made the playoffs a year ago. So, like, I think this is. I mean, I'm sure they gave up a ton of picks, but they are already a young team.
So
They're ready. Those picks aren't going to kill them in my estimation.
Go ahead, Danny.
Well, I
Or,
mean,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Wild.
Go
So,
ahead.
all right, so that's kind of whether or not you want to still wait on how much they gave up. You guys are very prudent. I'm more of like in Greg's camp that it's just like
It's
an
awesome.
amazing day. Let's look at it from the Cowboys angle. What does this tell you about Dallas's outlook right now for this season?
I mean, they're in huge trouble.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like they could have the
objectively,
worst defense in the league.
They've been so turnover dependent, right? They are such a feast or famine defense. Their whole thing is we're going to get a lead with our good offense. We're going to have two good edge rushers, and then we've got some ball hawking secondary players that take the ball away but also get hurt. You now remove the best pass rusher that you had, and you have injury questions and you have serious depth questions because the whole thing was they don't have a lot of depth because Dak's expensive, CD's expensive, and they were saving up for Micah to be expensive. I mean, I don't know. Like, did the Packers trade Rashawn Gary? Like, did they trade a player?
Right
with
now,
it, or is it just
right now
picks?
the reporting is 2 first-rounders, and if
It's gonna be more.
If it's
going to be
just
more.
2 first-rounders, then it is you can't because these are late first-rounders, we assume. You
Yes.
can't get a player like Micah Parsons, and late in the first round of the draft. I'm stunned Dallas did this.
Go ahead.
Well,
What this tells me, and we talked about it maybe 3-4 weeks ago. Remember I said I think the agent, there was a report by Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News, saying they were asking for 4 years, $200 million. And all the other reporting was 5 years, $200 million. Huge difference in yearly salary. And I said, if he's asking for that, then that is, I think what has happened is that Micah and his camp were asking for, we mentioned $45 million a year.
Yeah, you and I saw
they
it the
were
same
looking
way.
to blow the market away.
they did.
And that's why Jerry was hesitant to do it. We know he was willing to give him $40 million before the TJ Watt deal. He was probably willing to give him 41 or 42, but they wanted at least 45, maybe 47.
And I'm sorry, what did you
that's
say
a
the
big
gu-
part of it.
guarantees were?
I'm just going to read you Rap Sheet's tweet.
Yeah.
The Cowboys are trading All-Pro Micah Parsons to the Packers. They agreed to a 4-year, $188 million deal done by David Mulligetta and Andre Odom Athletes First, including $136 million guaranteed per Tom Pelissero and Jane Slater and Rap Sheet. $47 million per year. Parsons is the highest paid non-QB in history and nets 2 first-rounders for Dallas. What is stunning to me about this is that it got to this point that Jerry they are, in my estimation, punting on the season, that they, I think, did take it very seriously that Micah was going to try to force their hand on prove my back's not hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I also remember Tyreek when he joked about the Dolphins trading him, and he was like, I tried to get a contract once, and I ended up getting traded, and I don't want that to happen again. Do you remember? You guys know what I'm talking about? I wonder if Micah, when this whole thing started, would he put out the trade request? Do you think he actually thought he would? Now, they wouldn't have traded for him without him agreeing to the contract. So it's not like this blindsided him. But do you think he thought this was going to end with him moving from Dallas to Green Bay?
Here's Micah. I think we have a tweet from Micah. It's succinct. Thank you, Dallas. Go Pack, go. that is just shocking to see.
Well, I mean, there's so many layers to this, not to mention these fan bases, man. A Packers-Cowboys trade?
So it's week 4 is the rematch. And Dust, if you have the Packers schedule, I think it'd be fun to kind of go through. I'll tell you what's bad for your guy Caleb Williams too. Like there's so many.
Oh, I'm not thrilled about it.
No.
First
you're
off,
right.
Lions. I mean, this is just it's bad for golf right away. It's
is-
just fascinating.
It's fascinating on a number of levels. And I mean, David Mulugeta now also, because he's the guy who got the first fully guaranteed contract ever for Deshaun Watson.
He's
Now he
fantastic.
has the highest paid defensive player ever by AAV, total value, and full guarantee.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if the breaking news right now would have been Micah Parsons agrees to 4-year, $188 million deal with the Dallas Cowboys with 137 guaranteed, wouldn't we unanimously be saying, good job? By everybody, by Dallas, by David, by
Well,
certainly
I
by
don't know that I
Mulugeta.
would be, and that's
Really?
why. Well, yeah, because and that's why and Wilds can get annoyed with the way the way my brain works on these things. Where 90 seconds in, I'm like, is this good for the Packers?
I don't think
And
anybody- hold on a second,
No, no,
honey,
no,
in Green Bay. What's Nick Wright have to say about our cap?
No, but I just try to be fair.
No, I know.
If the breaking news was the day before the Eagles game, Jerry Jones has signed Micah Parsons to 4 years, $188 million, we would all be saying Jerry got worked. 100%. We would be
but
saying
why?
what?
We would be saying it because we don't think, even with Micah Parsons, we didn't even think the Cowboys were making the playoffs with Micah Parsons. For Green Bay, they got a legit chance to win the Super Bowl now.
So, okay,
Yeah.
fair. If that's
the difference.
Yes.
if that's the argument, and that's
And
what
you
it
would
is,
tend to agree with that, I would
Sure.
think.
Yeah. No. I
At
mean,
least
listen.
get
I
there.
think he's arguably the best defensive player in the sport. Like
Well, and I'm surprised you feel that way about the contract, though. Like, he's 3 years younger and 4 years younger. I forget. Right, 3 years younger than Myles Garrett, 4 years younger than TJ Watt. This isn't like a crazy overpay
No.
contractually.
And you know how it works. I mean, somebody's going to get more eventually.
If
in a
TJ
few
Watt
years.
got $42 million a year at 30, why is $47 million a year at
it's-
26 a big
Can I
overpay?
switch and just talk about, like, I think we glossed over, like, a huge story in the sports world, and you kind of just, like, buried it. You're like, oh, the Cowboys are punting on the year. It's like America's team and Jerry is having a reset year. They're opening up the season. Like, is there a chance this is some sort of addition by subtraction? I don't know, but it just seems crazy that America's team is.
They're going to
got
have
worse
to
this
try to be the Bengals.
yeah.
Greg brought it up earlier in the Bud list. That's their only hope is we're going to outscore everybody. They got 2 great receivers. They got a quarterback that can put up yards. He's not Joe Burrow. I don't think it's going to work. I'm just saying that is their only hope. Because the thing is, the initial thought is, okay, they're no longer even remotely close to contending for a Super Bowl. Why do I need Dak Prescott at $60 million a year?
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't make sense.
So is there also this angle to it, KW? Because we said when the Schefter news first came out 2 hours ago, and it was like, oh man, the Cowboys are actually open to a trade. It said that the Buffalo Bills need to be on the phone. Is there an element of why did the Packers do this and not the team? The Packers haven't been close for a long time. The Packers haven't been banging on the door and falling off. Like,
well,
why?
I mean,
you know
it
what I
was
mean?
just a few years ago that Rodgers were there and they were.
Oh
you know
yes,
what I mean?
correct.
And then 2 years ago they got fairly. They
got
won
to
a
the round
playoff
two.
game.
Yeah, they got to round 2. My point is if this was a good deal for Green Bay, like why? I'm interested in how this lands at Josh Allen's desk. How this lands at mostly Josh Allen more than Lamar or Joe. But you know what I mean? Like
Joe Burrow, Jared Goff. I mean,
Right.
they're willing to trade him in the NFC. The Detroit Lions, who have the second most cap space in the NFL, obviously could have afforded to do this for Micah Parsons. Listen, I wouldn't do it. Normally, history says trading multiple first-round picks, and I assume there's more coming there, and the biggest contract ever, it doesn't age well. Jalen Ramsey won a Super Bowl with the Rams, and he was still gone 2 years later. Now, they won the Super Bowl, so obviously they're thrilled with it. But it did not work for the Bears with Khalil Mack. It certainly did not work for Seattle with Jamal Adams.
But don't you think, look, Adams as a safety, that's a lot different as far as a position. And then the Bears, you said they weren't close at that point.
But it's also stunning that the Packers don't have the easy button of, but we're not paying our quarterback. Like Washington. You know what I mean? Washington, to me, is an interesting one because it's like, oh, the quarterback's super cheap. You know,
But the quarterback.
The fact that they traded him within the NFC means, like, San Francisco could have been in on it. Like, everyone, maybe they wouldn't have done the NFC East. And by the way, here are the full terms. Cowboys get 2 firsts and Kenny Clark.
Kenny Clark. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Kenny
Clark's
a good player.
Excellent interior defensive,
sure.
defensive lineman. If you're Dallas, though, too, just shows like more reactionary than proactive. If you were willing to do this,
You have to do it before the draft.
You have to do it before the draft. What pick was Matthew Golden? 18? 19? Like you could have selected
18, yeah.
You could have had your young defensive player for this year, and then no one is saying you're punting on the season. Like, apologies, I don't remember the exact draft order, but like Jalen Walker, right? Like you could have taken a pass rusher.
Well, and
you could have taken
and also
a young
you
defensive
wouldn't
player.
be receiving the pick from a team that just had a year of Micah.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the pick is likely better before they get to actually play with Micah Parsons.
But we know this wasn't plan A because they were willing to pay him. So this was a reaction. And like I said, to me, it's feeling clear that Mulligetta and Micah were like, this is our number. If you're not coming here, then trade us.
Yeah.
And Jerry wasn't willing to go that high.
I mean, I think Kenny Clark is worth a third-round pick. So it's like they got 2 firsts and the equivalent of a third, but the third's a player. It is the Cowboys now. I'll say it again.
It's not the Herschel Walker.
I think no, it's not Howie Long. What he said.
But shout out to Howie Long for kind of
seeing that this really could happen. And live from Montana, Howie Long saw this clearer than us.
Brew, you're the Jordan Love guy. To me, this feels like a big, like, go ahead, Jordan Love. Like, we're supporting you. Are you feeling better about your guy in Green Bay now?
Man, I'm feeling really good. I'm gonna be honest. I'll just share a little something.
Go ahead.
I was going to pick Detroit out of the NFC to get to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying who I'm picking now. I will say that tomorrow. I was gonna pick Detroit. We'll see if I still do, but
I gotta say, picking Green Bay to finish 4th.
It doesn't feel great. No, we have to.
Predictions week is
come on.
The domino effect of predictions week is all you get to read.
Picking Dallas to finish last in the NFC East feels great.
Yeah,
I mean that.
The rules are the rules. You got Green Bay finishing last.
I'm shocked that Dallas. I'm shocked that Dallas 7 days before opening up the season. And we probably had this all wrong. We were like, you know what? It's going to get done. Jerry likes the heat of the warmth of the spotlight. It's, milk it out, sign them. Boom, Micah's in the building. And they go for a full reset. And a week from today, I think
it's a $60 million quarterback.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be an odd day where the Eagles drop a banner and the Cowboys like, we're kind of
a $60 million quarterback with a no trade clause. That's the other part of this that I find so interesting. Typically, the reason you want a bunch of first-round picks is so you have capital to go get your quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, now, obviously, first-round picks are good for a bunch of reasons. But if the Cowboys wanted to move off Dak, that's not their decision. Mm-hmm. So, like, they do get cheaper and they do get younger and they do have other holes to fill. And also, the Packers clearly think they're closer than I thought they were. Like that, I thought Buffalo, you know what I mean, a team that had been right there.
Dallas should have just signed him to this contract. Well, it's a perfectly reasonable contract.
Were they making the playoffs?
In the next few years.